If you're a branch manager that hates recruiting, then this episode is going to be for you. I'm going to show you a breakthrough system on how we hired 44 loan officers in the last 12 months without ever cold calling. I almost shut down a branch that was not performing until I found this breakthrough 3-step process that makes it super easy. And today I'm going to give that to you absolutely free. Imagine doubling your team without ever having to cold call or chase recruits. It sounds impossible, but it's not. And I'm going to show you in this podcast how to do that. You see, here's the problem. Most branch managers hate recruiting. They don't want to chase, they don't want to cold call, and they don't want to prospect. You know why? Because it's hard. It sucks. Imagine how you respond to a recruit when they call you. The mortgage industry is evolving, and if you don't actively grow your branch, your revenue will eventually shrink and your expenses will eventually overtake your profits. That could force you ultimately to shut down. So I'm going to tell you a story of what happened to me. I was on the verge of shutting down the second branch that I'd ever built in Phoenix, Arizona. Out of desperation, I made a plea in a video. I recorded myself to an audience of loan officers or leaders that I thought might be willing to partner with me. And I did this all based on just looking at analytics and numbers. I didn't know really much of these people in person. I sent this out to 100 people and only one person responded. But that person ended up building one of the most profitable branches. You see, recruiting doesn't have to be painful. There's this 3-step breakthrough process that is easy and effective. So I'm going to give you some key insights here. So you don't need a cold call. You just need to be present in your market, number one. Number two is building relationships is far more effective than pitching people. And number three, consistent engagement will position you as a leader loan officers want to work with. So here is the 3-step process that I call the breakthrough recruiting process. The first is create a brand on social media that establishes you as a leader helping loan officers grow. But you got to be able to do this first. The second is get into the community. Attend every single event that you know loan officers will be at. And if you're really good and you got a good story, figure out a way to get on stage. Number three, engage with potential recruits daily. Comment on their posts, cheer them on, offer value before you ever ask them to do something for you. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step way that you can implement this and put this process into action. So first and foremost, I got to tell you this story. So I attended an event, and if anybody's been to Phoenix that's listening to this, you know that we have the Phoenix Open. And for those of you that don't know me, I stopped drinking about 1.5 years ago, and I went to this event begrudgingly. Somebody invited me and my initial instinct was to figure out a way to get out of it. But I said, you know what? I have to go where loan officers are. And so I attended this event. I attended the event and I met a loan officer that was doing about 80 million in volume. We connected right after that on social media because I took a picture of us and I asked her if I could tag her. We immediately became friends. And at that point, I knew she knew who I was. At the time that I met her, she had made it really, really clear that she loved the company she was with. In fact, she was telling me how she wished she had worn all of her company gear to the event because she noticed that I was wearing a hat from the company that I work with, Loan Depot. So I actually didn't pitch. In fact, I talked to her. I put my guard down. I didn't even try to convince her to work with me or anything like that. I just wanted to get to know her and hear her story. So a few weeks later, I was thinking about this branch that I had. It was a thorn in my side. There was literally no one working in this branch. I was paying rent. The lease was coming up. And so I said to myself, if I can get a couple of people hired into this branch before March, then I'll keep the branch open. And so what I did was, I gave myself a little bit of time to see if I can make a run for it and hire a few people. So I went to the branch with my videographer and Fabio, who produces this podcast, and we did a video in the branch. It was completely empty, and my message was something like this: if you still believe in the retail model and you want to partner and build something together, then let's talk. And I'm sending you this message because I looked you up. I know a little bit about you, and I'd love to partner with you. And so all you have to do is reply to this message, and we'll set up a conversation. And so I took that and I used the Reach app. And the Reach app is a really cool app because it allows you to send like hundreds of messages to people. So we're a data company, so I pulled everybody who met certain criteria that I thought that I would want to meet. And I uploaded the video, and then I immediately sent it out to everybody. And when I was sending it out, I noticed this person's name showed up on who I was about to send it to. And I almost didn't send it to them because I was like, I just met her. She's really happy at her job. I made every excuse in my head not to do it. And I said, you know what? No, I'm going to send it. I sent it to over 100 people and only one person responded, and it was her. She responded to that text message. After a series of meetings, she ended up joining my team. And today, this is one of our best performing branches in my region. So you're probably asking, like, how do I do this, Chris? Like, why should I do this? Maybe you just got lucky, all those things, right? Well, that didn't happen until around March, April timeframe. And after I hired her, my entire team, my entire leadership team went on a rampage with recruiting. And through that, we ended up hiring 44 people. Through that one hire, because what it did for us is showed us that we were worthy of it. We knew that we can grow, and she was a really good example of this. So what should you do right now is get out into your community and attend events. And here's how you do it. It's really simple because events are awkward. I have social anxieties that I'm pretty sure everyone who is listening has as well. But all I do is I walk around the room and I go up to people and I say, hey, I'm Chris. How'd you end up at this event? Hey, are you on Instagram? Let me follow you. And so I usually will leave these events with 10 new followers, 10 new people that I didn't know yesterday. And sometimes they're realtors, sometimes they're loan officers. And I follow them and I start engaging with them consistently. And if you're a leader and a loan officer, then this is a perfect place and a way for you to connect and network with people and get to know them. But also it gives them an opportunity to get to know you through your social media. Because what do you do? What does most people do when you meet somebody? You go and stalk their social media. So, well, that's what people are doing to you. And what they're doing is they're putting a value on you and this relationship and figuring out if you're somebody that can help them. And imagine if you're one of those leaders who's posting about the things that you're doing to help the loan officers on your team, then what they're probably going to say is, oh my gosh, my boss doesn't do anything like this manager does. And it increases your value to them. At least 30% of the people you're going to meet are going to be loan officers. And now instead of being a stranger, you are a friendly face for them to get to know that they met at an event. And now you have become in their social circle. And what it does is it makes recruiting become so much natural because now I can talk to you and say, hey, what are you looking to do over the next year? I wonder if there's a way that I could help you. I wonder if there's a way that we could connect together and maybe I could help you with that. But that's different from a cold call. So here are some of the things that you're telling yourself right now as you're listening to this podcast. I don't have time to recruit. Well, let me tell you this. Go to your phone, look at how much time you spent on social media, looking at your screen time, and I promise you, there is time that you will find that you're scrolling through social media, doom scrolling, instead of actually prospecting that you can make time for this. So why not use your time strategically? Well, I just don't know what to say, is what some of you are telling yourself. Well, start with curiosity. You know, that's usually how it starts with me. I'll see a post with somebody and there might be something in the background. Somebody had a poster of Mexico and I asked a question like, hey, I'm curious about the poster in your background that says Mexico on it. And that created a long story of a DM that went back and forth that had nothing to do with the message that they were posting about. But guess what? That curiosity got me an opportunity to talk to somebody in a way that they might not have talked to me otherwise, especially somebody who I met at an event. And many of you are actually branch managers who also have pipeline and are also loan officers. And some of you may say, I'm too focused on my own deals that I don't have time to recruit. Well, the best way for you to grow your revenue is by adding team members to your team. And so if I can give you a way, or if you can implement these 3 steps that helped us grow our team by 44 people, then maybe that'll help you. I've made a lot of money helping loan officers than I ever did as a producer. And if you remove the barriers for loan officers and help them get more deals, they are going to want to work for you. Listen, guys, I don't have anything to sell you, but if you like this episode, all I ask is that you drop me a comment right now, like you subscribe to this, or you just snap a picture, you take a screenshot of this and tag us at the Chris Medellin on Instagram or at Breakthrough Pod Official. That will help me know that you actually like the content that I'm giving you, and I can give you more content. I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast today. I'm doing something new this quarter, and I'm actually getting in front of the microphone by myself to share with you things that I've accomplished and that have worked for me in growing my business and my breakthrough moments. So I appreciate you hearing the podcast. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.